In this session, we are going to discuss internal audits and inspection readiness, one of the most important elements of an effective quality management system. In regulated industries such as pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, medical devices, and laboratories, compliance is not achieved during an inspection. Compliance is built every day through strong systems, documentation, training, and internal audits. Internal audits help organizations identify weaknesses before regulators discover them. Inspection readiness means being prepared every day, not only when an inspector notice arrives. In this session, we will understand the role of internal audits, inspection preparation, audit procedures, team readiness, inspector expectations, and post-inspection activities. Many organizations view internal audits as a routine compliance activity. However, internal audits are actually the first line of defense against regulatory findings. The purpose of an internal audit is on-site verification. Auditors verify whether processes, procedures, records, and quality systems are operating accordingly to requirements and remain under control. Regulatory inspectors, on the other hand, assess compliance with laws and regulations. Inspection findings can lead to warning letters, observations, import alerts, product recalls, or regulatory actions. Therefore, the quality of your internal audit program often determines the outcome of regulatory inspection. Strong internal audits reduce surprises and improves compliance confidence. Quality oversight operates through three main important layers. The first layer is internal audits. These are systematic reviews performed by the organization itself to evaluate complaints and identify improvement opportunities. The second layer is external audits. These are independent third-party assessments often performed by customers, certification bodies, or business partners. The third layer is regulatory audits or inspections. These are conducted by government agencies such as FDA, EMA, MHRA, CDSCO, and food inspectors. Each stage builds upon the previous one. If internal audits are effective, external audits become easier to manage and regulatory inspections become more predictable. A strong internal audit program creates confidence throughout the entire quality system. Audits are not conducted merely to complete paperwork. Their purpose is operational excellence. The first objective is maintaining a state of control. Audits verify that manufacturing, laboratory, and quality systems are functioning properly in practice, not just on paper. The second objective is timely correction. A good audit system identifies deviations, weaknesses, and compliance gaps before they become serious problems. The third objective is continuous improvement. Audit findings should drive meaningful changes in processes and systems. The goal is not simply closing observations. The goal is improving performance, quality, and compliance continuously. Organizations that embrace audits as improvement tools generally perform much better during inspections. Inspection readinesses begin with people. Many organizations make the mistake of assessing inspection responsibilities only after receiving an inspection notice. This approach often creates confusion and stress. A better approach is to define roles in advance. Organizations should establish a formal inspection team with clear responsibilities. Subject matter experts or SMEs should be identified and trained early. These individuals should be confident in explaining procedures, answering questions, and presenting evidence during inspections. Regular training and mock inspections help improve confidence and preparedness. Remember, a prepared team is one of the strongest assets during an inspection. Successful inspections begin long before inspectors arrive. Three important preparation activities should be completed. The first is mock inspection and gap analysis. Organizations should conduct realistic mock inspections using the same standards and rigor expected during actual regulatory inspections. The second is documentation traceability. Inspectors often ask for evidence supporting specific activities. Every process should be traceable through documentation, records, approvals, and audit trails. The third activity is corrective action tracking. All identified during readiness assessments should be documented and tracked to closure. Open issues should never remain unresolved before an inspection. A well-prepared organization can retrieve evidence quickly and demonstrate effective control over its operations. During inspections, regulators focus on several critical areas. First, they evaluate facilities and infrastructure. They assess cleanliness, maintenance, environmental controls, utilities, and facility design. Second, they review records and documentation. Batch records, laboratory notebooks, SOPs, training records, validation records, and quality records are examined for completeness and accuracy. Third, they assess data integrity and electronic systems. Where applicable, electronic records and signatures must comply with 21 CFR Part 11 requirements. Fourth, inspectors evaluate manufacturing and laboratory process. They review process validation, in process control, deviation management, CAPA systems, and operational consistency. Inspectors are not only evaluating documents, they are evaluating whether the documented process matches actual practice. One of the best inspection philosophies is the no surprises approach. Inspectors form impressions quickly. Organized records and transparent communication creates confidence. The key principle is simple. If you know about a deficiency, you own it. Organizations should identify problems internally, document them, implement corrections, and maintain evidence of resolvedness. Attempting to hide issues often creates bigger complaints concerns. Documentation should be organized and easily accessible. A culture of openness and accountability demonstrates maturity and strengthens regulatory confidence. The behavior of employees during an inspection can significantly influence outcomes. The first rule is be prepared. All requested documents, personnel, and subject matter experts should be available when needed. The second rule is stay transparent. Employees should answer questions honestly and professionally. Avoid guessing, arguing, or providing unnecessary information. Over answering often creates additional questions and risk. The third rule is show discipline. Maintain professional communication, follow procedures, and demonstrate confidence in the quality system. Remember, inspectors evaluate not only systems and records, but also organization culture and professionalism. The inspection process does not end when inspectors leave the facility. In main ways, the most important work begins afterward. The first step is document actions. All commitments, observations, and corrective actions should be recorded with clear ownership and timelines. The second step is prepare for follow up. Organizations should anticipate regulatory correspondence and be ready to provide responses or additional evidence. The third step is drive CAPA. Corrective and preventive actions should focus on root causes rather than symptoms. The fourth step is strengthen readiness. Lessons learned should be incorporated into future audit programs and readiness activities. Each inspection provides valuable opportunities for improvement. Organizations that learn from inspections become strong and more compliant over time. To summarize today's session, we learned that internal audits are the foundation of inspection readiness. We discussed the audit inspection pipelines, operational importance of audits, team preparation, mock inspections, documentation traceability, inspector expectations, professional conduct, and post-inspectional CAPA activities. Remember this important message. Inspection readiness is not a project. It is a daily state of control. Organizations that maintain strong internal audit systems, transparent documentation practices, and continuous improvement cultures are always prepared for inspections. Complaints become easier when readiness is built into everyday operations. Thank you everyone. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section.